Land leasing for wind power development. Wind turbine developers need large open tracts of land for a successful project. Some of these lands are in private hands while some are public lands. The state of Colorado conducts a land lease program through the State Land Board, which allows long-term leases on public lands for multiple uses. The state manages 3 million acres of public land. About 95% of the leases it creates are for farming or cattle grazing. The same land can also have leases on it for different purposes such as wind and solar energy conversion. About 4% of Colorado's renewable energy production uses these kinds of leases, enough to power 75,000 homes. If the land is being used for multiple purposes, each leaseholder only pays for the portion of land they are using. Half of the state's lease income is used to fund a program called the BEST program. This stands for Building Excellent Schools Today and is used to fund capital improvement projects such as new schools. Companies can also lease land directly from private landowners such as farmers and ranchers. This can be a great economic benefit for landowners as the wind turbines take up only a small portion of the land for their operation and the landowners can continue to use their land for farming or ranching. Since wind turbines have long operational lifespans, they require long-term lease agreements. Landowners usually receive a fixed payment per turbine or per acre or as royalty payments based on the electricity produced. The lease terms and payment amounts vary, but are reported to range from $5,000 to $8,000 per megawatt per year. For example, for a project that uses 5 megawatt turbines, the payments can range from $25,000 to $40,000 per turbine per year. This is substantial income from land that can still be used as it has been prior to wind farm operation. A great deal of land is usually required as the turbines need to be spaced far apart so they do not interfere with each other. Usually, a minimum of 80 acres is needed and must be windy enough and close enough to a transmission line to be practical for development. The life cycle of wind power projects can be divided into 4 phases. 1. The development phase. This gives the developer the exclusive right to develop the land for 2 to 6 years while they assess wind resources, investigate the feasibility of the site, secure a power purchase agreement, and obtain the necessary permits and financing for the project. This phase typically involves preliminary designs needed to assess feasibility and obtain preliminary pricing estimates for the project. 2. The design and construction phase. The detailed design and actual construction of project access roads, crane pads, collection systems, and turbine foundations followed by erection of the turbines and commissioning of the project. These activities are typically handled by the balance of plant contractor and can take from 1 to 2 years to complete. 3. The production phase. This is when turbines are operating and generating electricity, which can last about 20 to 30 years. And 4. The decommissioning phase. If life extension and repowering options are not pursued, this phase involves the removal of the turbines and supporting equipment and restoration of the land to its original condition. Wind farm projects require large amounts of open land. Developers often use leases on state lands as well as leases with private landowners. State leases can be an excellent public benefit as the wind towers use relatively little land, and the land can also be used for other purposes. The revenue gained from public land is then used to fund projects such as new schools. While there are investment risks to both the developer and the landowner, they can be reduced by the reliability and long-term nature of wind development leases. At Civil Renewables, we have a role to play at any life cycle phase of wind power projects. During development, we perform preliminary geotechnical studies and foundation designs to help with project pricing and feasibility assessments. During detailed design, we produce construction drawings and specifications. During construction, we help the project meet the QA and QC requirements specified by the engineer. During operation, we advise on operational performance or issues. And during life extension, repowering or decommissioning, we provide consulting services rooted in decades of wind energy experience. At Civil Renewables, we are catalysts of the success of wind power generation for everyone's benefit: landowners, project developers, project owners, and the public at large.